sit on that chair. The camera has to be this way.
So before we begin the ceremony, we have one person who's missing today from our event who is really important to Michaela, that I think has been a big impact on her life and made a difference on teaching her and being her big brother. And that's her big brother, Mike. And I think that it was really important to him that he knew, that Michaela knows that Michael was here to say hi to her today.
You did it! You look so good. You look like Heath Ledger. I should have known. That's why you did that. Anyway, everything's good.
So we went through an elaborate process of making sure everyone was ready to FaceTime him and invite him in for this ceremony. And I did always know that he was the favorite big brother, so we had to find something. So I know we're all excited to be here today to take a chance to celebrate Michaela and Ty taking their time to commit to each other and be a part of, as their community and as their family, to celebrate their life and their future together. And we're very excited about that. I did ask that Michaela and Ty share with me their story before we began today, because I wanted to know what it was that made them fall in love, what it was that made them decide that taking the sometimes trepidatious route of marriage was worth their time. And they shared it with me, and I just wanted to share it with you. It was inspiring to me, and I think an important part for everyone to know about their story. Michaela and Ty met on March 6th, 2017 at a concert venue. Ty introduced himself and the two hit it off immediately. Upon exchanging numbers, a plan was made for a first date where they planned an event that they had assumed would only last for a couple of hours. Instead, the two continued the pattern they'd set the first time they met, and they connected well. As evidenced by their conversation continuing on that first date for 9 hours. Michaela and Ty were both mesmerized by each other and began connecting deeply on spiritual and emotional levels that they value deeply. They continue to spend every single day together up to today and continue to fall harder in love every day. Michaela shares that she loves to spend what she calls gallons and gallons of time with Ty. After proposing with a ring that Ty knew Michaela would like, that she would love, Michaela shared that she could only describe that feeling as joy. From that day on, Ty and Michaela have been a team, learning, changing, and growing together. So now comes the part where I am somehow tasked with sharing some thoughts as the officiator for the wedding. And I knew ahead of time that Michaela didn't choose me to be the officiant because she thought, that I was wise, or that I had a lot of, insightful, loving thoughts to share, as evidenced by me being her third choice as officiator. So I moved forward with some thoughts that, of course, I decided to hunt down from of course, some people more intelligent than me, some philosophers, and and some other famous folks who have some thoughts that they have on love, some humorous thoughts, some cynical thoughts, and also some, I think, depth, thoughts of depth. The first that I found was a quote by Friedrich Nietzsche. He said, a pair of powerful spectacles has sometimes sufficed to cure a person of love. Love, our second one was, love is temporary insanity cured by marriage. This is Ambrose Bierce. Falling in love consists merely of uncorking the imagination and bottling all common sense. And it was Helen Rowland. And then Dostoevsky shared, love in action is harsh, and he shared this in humor, but also perhaps in accuracy, that it's a harsh and dreadful thing in living, but truly it is very real and good in dreams. And I think that he might be a little cynical in his point, as I have had the chance to experience Michaela and Ty and watch their love grow. They live in a dream, and their love is wonderful and beautiful. So those were the cynical thoughts. Now the thoughts that I thought maybe described more accurately their love. A favorite poet of Michaela's is Walt Whitman, and a quote he has on love was, "We were together, I forget the rest." Another by Reinhold Niebuhr, on some wisdom in love, that forgiveness, it turns out, is the final form of love. The kind of love that lets love last. Henry Ward Beecher shares with us, I never knew how to worship. I never knew how to worship until I knew how to love. I didn't expect that. Kierkegaard shares, don't forget to love yourself, reminding us that in love we have two individual universes sharing love and learning to love. And then one that I posted on my Facebook because I had to pridefully put myself among really amazing philosophers who know much more than I, that happiness does not just happen. Love does not just happen. It is a methodical and an intentional daily practice. Each of those are thoughts that, as I read those and looked those up, I could tell that they were perhaps words of wisdom for you guys, but also the two of you guys, I've learned a lot from watching you guys as you guys have shared your love. You guys come to our home and are soft and cute and kind. And you guys remind me of what love should be. I think that sometimes, as we get older and as we get a little bit more cynical in life, we forget what love is. And that love is the thoughtful exploration of the person you've decided to love. And that every day you wake up looking at that person, knowing that that's the person that you want to be married to. So enough of Nietzsche and Dostoevsky and Sean. We will move forward into the ceremony with the exchange of vows, the exchange of rings, and our pronouncement of marriage. So if you two would like to move forward with your exchange of vows, you guys can choose if you would like me to hold the microphone up for everyone to listen. I believe we'll start with the groom by bride's decision.
Michaela, on our first date, I had no idea that I was walking around a cemetery with the woman that I would want to spend the rest of my life with. We talked and walked and talked and walked and talked and walked for 8 or 9 hours. With every moment that we spent together, he pulled me in even more. We've been through a lot of really tough challenges, been dealt some crappy hands, and no matter what, you're always right there. You get to work through it with me. I promise you that I will always do everything I can to be the best man I can be for you. I'll always have your back, and I will always strive to better myself so that we can be the strongest partners we can be. I take you to be my wife, my person, my partner in crime, as long as I'm breathing.
Ty Fox. You are the greatest story I will ever tell. I've told myself that phrase since day one, and I understand that the small things change, and even though the small things change, I know who you are at the core. I got to be there through all of the smallest and the biggest changes. You have taught me how important love and family are. And like I've always said, you've helped me grow in ways that I never even thought were possible. You're the person I never want to stop making memories with. You have my whole heart, and I could never imagine giving myself to anyone else. I'm so glad we get to consider today as the first day of the rest of our lives. I love you.
Our ring bearer can bring up the rings. With the authority vested in me by the state of Idaho, I'd like to pronounce you, Mr. Fox, and you, Mrs. Fox, man and wife. You may kiss the bride. I do think that there's a reception directly after, but not till 6. But I would like to present to the crowd for applause and loud cheers again, Mr. and Mrs. Fox. If everyone would like to come up and congratulate. And we will, I believe, separate until the reception.
Sorry, I said
I'm gonna video the whole
it's
thing.
okay. I think I